going on, friends? It just seems like here lately, Harley-Davidson cannot make the right moves. More news is coming out, and things are, well, more or less more disappointing than ever now, considering that Harley-Davidson is looking at moving production. There's a lot of worried workers, and the fact that the bikes aren't even really selling that well right now, they want to go ahead and give us one more reason to not purchase Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Maybe you guys haven't heard the latest with caught up with all the other news surrounding Harley-Davidson right now, but it was announced that Harley-Davidson is actually going to move production of their Sportster and Pan America motorcycles overseas. Now, I understand these aren't the hottest selling models out there, but at the same time, Harley-Davidson flat out lied to us. They lied to the riders, they lied to the employees, they lied to everybody that loves Harley-Davidson. Guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Harley-Davidson made a promise to its workers, to its riders, and everybody that supports them that every Harley-Davidson motorcycle produced for the American market was going to be built here in America. They said this when they built a plant in Brazil and in Thailand. Those plants were to be used for international markets outside the U.S. So any bikes that were going to be sold outside the U.S., they were going to build them in those plants. Well, Harley-Davidson has announced for the 2025 model year that any Revolution Max powered motorcycle, the Pan America and the Sportsters, these are actually going to be built in Thailand. Now, as I mentioned, these aren't the hottest selling bikes out there as it is, so why would you want to give people one less reason to buy them when they're not even selling that well to begin with? Oh wait, it goes back to the CEO and his initiative to basically make more money on every single motorcycle sold. So if we take the bikes that aren't selling that well and we produce them overseas and then ship them back for the American market, which is where they lied, but I guess they're kind of a half-truth trying to calm the waters a little bit by just doing it with their non-core motorcycles, it's going to be okay. But the idea is, I'm assuming, that they're going to try and make more money on these models. But you can maybe already see the writing on the wall. What's next? As it stands right now, any Milwaukee 8-powered motorcycle, tourer, bagger, whatever you want to call them, soft tails, anything with a Milwaukee 8 engine, those are built right here in the USA and shipped all over the world. Now, I don't know if you guys saw or remember the old Harley-Davidson commercial where they touted how these bikes were built in the United States and they were shipped all over the world.
Others can do it better now, and that we are destined to become a nation of paper shufflers, burger flippers, pixel pushers. This is the story of some people who believe something different. These are people who believe in the American craftsman because they are American craftsmen. They are people who transformed a factory by holding on to their values while modernizing their methods. Their product is rolling across 6 continents now. They are the people who build Harley-Davidson motorcycles right here in America.
They were proud of it. That was something to be proud of. But it starts here by moving that production. Now get this. It's for the 2025 model year, and they're saying this is just going to be a temporary shift. Well, if you guys know anything about corporate America, when they say something temporary, the first thing that pops into my mind is temporary to permanent. So I think they're kind of halfway breaking their commitment here by saying that any bike that is built and sold to the American market is going to be built in the United States. But these are our non-core motorcycles, so it's okay. We're not building any Milwaukee 8-powered motorcycles in Thailand and shipping them back over here. We're just building anything that's the new liquid-cooled dual overhead cam bikes. Those are going to be built in Thailand and shipped back to the United States. Now, you could probably see why this has the workers at Harley-Davidson extremely worried right now. They've seen this happen in Kansas City. If you guys remember the Kansas City plant, this was the plant that built the Dynas, that built the Evo Sportsters. They built the V-Rods there. And not only that, which was great for them, I know the Street Line was an absolute disaster and it was a terrible bike, but it gave the Kansas City plant more work. That was some optimistic times there. And then if you remember that, well, they cut the Dyna line, they pretty much combined everything into the Softails, the V-Rod went out of production, and the last thing to hold on out there was the Evo Sportster, and then that went away, and everybody lost their job in Kansas City. Everybody in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, it was a little while ago, but you can bet your bottom dollar it's still fresh in their mind. I can completely see, and I feel for them. I'd be worried too. They're pulling this crap. They're lying to them. They're lying to the riders. They're lying to everybody. They're going to start moving as much production overseas as possible. I guarantee it. I can see this happening depending on what kind of backlash they get. By moving just the Revolution Max motorcycles over here, they're testing the waters because the goal is to make more money on every single bike sold because the sales are slow. Now, if the sales are slow, why would you do something that's going to give everybody one less reason to buy a brand new Harley-Davidson? The only thing that corporate Harley-Davidson is doing is basically going the opposite direction, turning everybody from where they want them to be. Harley wanted to destroy their used market. Well, they just gave you one more reason to not support corporate, to buy used motorcycles, buy them privately, and support your local independent shop. But as far as the line workers go and everything, this is scary because they saw this in Kansas City when they started dropping and eliminating models. You know, when they eliminate a model, that raises a red flag in your head when you're working for a plant. So they got the Revolution Max engines. That opens another line. That maybe opens another shift at the plant. And then all of a sudden that's going away and you're on that line. You work on that line on those motorcycles, building parts and assembling those. I can see where you're like, oh man, now what's going to happen to me? Am I going to get laid off? Am I going to lose my job over this because they're sending this production of these bikes overseas? Guys, these are some scary times for Harley-Davidson, especially if you work for them. And the fact that they lied to us, they lied to everybody about what they were going to do, and really kind of doubling down on it, saying this is temporary. Oh, we're just going to move production to Thailand for the 2025 model year and then reevaluate from there. There's no temporary about it. That production is going to go over there and it's going to stay over there. And I really hope that we don't see production of the Milwaukee 8, our baggers, our Softails, all the new products that we have now. I really don't want to see those actually start getting sent over to Thailand to be built and then shipped back to the U.S. for sale in the American market, just like they're going to do with the Revolution Max powered bikes. And to be honest with you, I never thought I would see Harley-Davidson absolutely implode on itself the way they are right now. Things are getting really bad. But you know what? It's been great for Indian. They're absolutely loving it, I guarantee it. Harley-Davidson's making all the wrong moves, and all Indian has to do is just sit back and not really get involved and hold the door open for anybody bringing in their Harley to trade it in on a new Indian. They've pretty much done everything they can to run the company in the ground and run everybody off that absolutely love the bikes. Now, not everybody's going to go out and get rid of their Harley because of all this stuff. I've seen a lot of people take a lot of different approaches here. We're going to debadge them, or they say, well, I've got the pre-Zeitz bike, 2019 and back are okay. 2020 and up, that's when that guy was running the company. I don't want to have one of those. I mean, that's kind of a little milder form, but I guess if you got the money, there's been people going out and burning them, destroying them, whatever. But I don't know about you. I wouldn't do that to a Sportster, honestly, an Evo Sportster. But I guess some people got the money to do that, but I'm not really that crazy about it. But anyhow, guys, I really want your opinion on this one. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about Harley-Davidson reversing course on what they said, that every bike built for the American market is going to be built in the U.S., and these other plants were just for international markets? How do you feel about them kind of reversing course on this a little bit just with the Revolution Max engines? What do you think is going to come next? But anyhow, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button. and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. But till next week, guys, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars. I'll catch you guys back here next week in a brand new video. Thanks for watching.